7-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blaine Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Quick flag.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls up and buries the flag.
Richardson tries, not for Robbie Bryant. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Darby. Flag out.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? Yes, I am Michael Caratunito at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter, as you guys know and love. And yes, this is the second final episode of season 2. Going back through stuff, and yeah, the other day I was able to get everything, but it was really choppy, and I'm a Sun Devil. There is no way we cap off a phenomenal Sun Devil season with the choppy episode. Again, no excuses, onward, upward. It happens. It wasn't prevalent to me as it was going. So that's the most frustrating part, which again, technology side, yes, I'm a Sun Devil, innovative, yes, but I need to catch on to that stuff a little quicker. So anyway, no, I'm not just going to repeat everything I said because that would not be me. We will get to some of that, yes, but second final episode of Pitchfork Lunch because I want to take the other one. It will go away of the boot. And this is the final episode as we recap again. Enjoy everything, all Pitchfork Lunch Sun Devil. So yes, those of you that are able to join, I know I posted this kind of late because I was going through it and getting stuff, labeling stuff, getting stuff ready as you'd be prepared for doing my own archiving. I would say anybody want to archive for me, but you guys doing again, I need to do that. So yes, it's always the fun spot when side note real quick, when I was interning way back in the day, awesome internship, Channel 12 in the sports department when I was still at ASU. My last semester, got to work with, again, a lot of just great people in front of the camera, behind the camera. I mean, Bruce Cooper, again, who I was probably with the most. Coop, everybody loves Coop. And again, just awesome. Bruce Cooper, again, Mark Lewis, Mark Curtis, Steve Overmeyer. I mean, just in front of the camera, which was just awesome. Again, picking their brains, sitting next side to him, getting to go out and do stuff. And like I said, probably worked the most with Coop. And again, all the phenomenal producers that I worked with. And man, it's just editors too. I mean, just phenomenal sports internship. But nonetheless, you cannot end on, it's like sports. You can't end on a missed shot. You can't in hoops. You can't, or, anything, hockey, again, football, score. Like, no, you can't end on that. And as I was watching it or going through archiving stuff, I was getting very annoyed. So I figured, hey, you know what? Maybe not as many can jump on. I'm going to put it out there now. Yes, it was pseudo last minute, but again, still have stuff prepped, still have to recall stuff. Plus, I realize I forgot to announce the movement, two hashtags that that I will have over the summer. Yes, I will put up on the good old X, or formerly known as Twitter. Two movements that we will have over this off season that you guys can help out with. And again, hit me up in the comments. If you hit me up in the comments, you can definitely do that. But yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Also, you can check out, you've always been able to check out Pitchfork Lunch Live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, my IG, I know I remind you that, Michael.Caratino.5. Again, jump onto the good old IG, my friends, and go from there. But yes, you can check out Pitchfork Lunch there as we are going. And also the YouTube. I know I told you guys about the YouTube. This is how I noticed the issue. Again, there was a little bit, I thought maybe the other day, but everything was running from the studio. And usually if there is issues, and a lot of you guys know this anyway, short story, if there is issues, you'll be able to pick it up and see that you're having it. But yeah, things were coming through fine. So a little frustrated, but nonetheless, that's why I move onward and upward. So, but the YouTube channel, guys, you can watch live on YouTube when Pitchfork Lunch is on Monday to Friday, 12 to 1, but subscribe to the channel, subscribe, because you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, coaches, players, analysts, insiders, alums. A phenomenal athletic director that we've been able to have on twice here on Pitchfork Lunch. So yes, it's again, greatly, always awesome. And you missed a ton of con reviews that we've had with these amazing Sun Devils and just people and programs and just getting it out there. So go to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Caratino. The page is at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Because like I said, you can catch up on all that. This being the second last episode of the second season. Again, gotta make light of it, but yeah, you can definitely get caught up. If you missed season 1, again, you can see the beginnings. The other day's episode might make you think of those beginnings. Now, again, we were up and going, but if you missed season 1, again, you can binge watch season 1, and then you can anything you've missed from season 2, maybe except for the second or the first last episode of season 2. Yeah, you can binge watch again season 1, and then anything you miss from season 2. And then when we start season 3, again, you might have to do some overachieving binge watching the first part of this summer, but you'll be all caught up, and we will roll into season 3 again, working on good stuff. Got some good stuff coming, like I said. So again, just onward and upward, man, in Sun Devil Nation, as everything is. And yes, when programs are winning, does it make it more fun? And people, yeah, Coach Dillingham said it, like, this is a team, a city that's, going to support winners and, getting there. And not that they didn't support it before, but again, if you're winning, it's it's a fun place to be. And yeah, so you can get all caught up And again, got stuff coming season 3. Going to tweak some stuff, bringing it forward, but not tweaking, bringing you obviously players, coaches, players, all that stuff, sound from practice, games, obviously interviews, get more alum in here. And just come across more alum like I have, like I tell them and reach out to them. Yes, they will come on the show. So this will be absolutely awesome. But yeah, so go to YouTube, and again, you can watch live there, but subscribe. Again, it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe away. Also, my friends, as you know, you've been able to listen to season 2 all season long on the greatest internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Huge props to Casual E for bringing Pitchfork Lunch into the KSRN family. Again, all the content he has there. I'll get to that in a second, but needed more Sun Devil content. We were talking, bam, there's Pitchfork Lunch every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Again, just go to www.ksrnaz.com. All right, page will open up. Click listen live, hit play, and then right now, normally Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, there is Pitchfork Lunch. And again, you're driving around, you're going to lunch, you're doing whatever at work. Guess what? You can listen on your way, because I want you to watch on the other avenues, like I told you, but I don't want you to watch and drive, as I do my best Peter Brady cracking voice right there. But no, I don't want you to watch and drive. Pay attention to the road. Like I always say, like Oprah used to say, no texting and driving. Pay attention to the road. You can listen to it, stream it through your Bluetooth. Just go to www.ksrnaz.com. Page opens up. Click listen live, hit play. There we go. Pitchfork Lunch in your car. Going to meet your friends for lunch. All that good stuff. So yes, absolutely awesome. So stoked to be part of the KSRN family like we have been all season. And like I just said to you guys before, subscribe to their socials, because you want to talk about comprehensive coverage of the Cardinals, the Suns, the Diamondbacks, the Mercury. Casual E has you hooked up. Casual E has you hooked up, and you will be in the know. You're one-stop shopping. Again, a lot of variety out there, everything out there. Casual E has you hooked up, plus the shows that you've heard through the commercials here that they have on. Absolutely phenomenal. So, and again, Pitchfork Lunch is there, the Sun Devil content. So forks up to Casual E for the invite, as again, we rolled through season 2, and looking forward to season 3 as well. But yes, so yeah, and it's like I said, so stoked to be there, and it's a lot of, like I said, a lot of stuff to keep up with. Stanley Cup champs were crowned last night. Again, Sun Devils have hockey, so there's always a relation to ASU. But yeah, Stanley Cup champs again. Congrats to Florida. Back to back look, in a lot of sports, it's very, very tough to do. But they have been to 3 straight Stanley Cup finals. They have won 2 in a row. Look, in my eyes, a lot of you guys know, obviously a New Jersey Devils fan, being from Jersey, but if your team doesn't win it, you're not there. But like I've said a million times, Stanley Cup playoffs, if your team doesn't go to the playoffs, you still watch. If your team gets eliminated during, you still watch. And just what Florida has done, and Edmonton, same matchup the last 2 seasons in Florida. Again, they were up 3-0, and then they ended up winning 7 this year, winning in 6. Edmonton is right there. And this whole talk, again, it's not about Connor McDavid or the Oilers, but I'm just saying, like, McDavid and all this talk, like, man, it's insane. The heater that Florida's on, but Edmonton as well. Like, anyway, but congrats to Florida. They won their 2nd in a row. And yeah, next year's here, and then the NBA Finals. Hey, we could be crowning a Sun Devil. Might be getting another ring. As we know from back in the day, not crazy back in the day, love Byron Scott. Byron Scott, Sun Devil, won quite a few championships with the Lakers. And the Sun Devils, have won championships in other sports. But Lou Dortz, they have a chance to take down Indiana in Game 6. So we shall see what happens there. But a Sun Devil there, so forks up to that. But so yes, for the final episode again, it's going to recap some stuff from the season, from the sports season. I know, and from what I saw, because again, obviously, track and field wrapped up some of the stuff. Some of the stuff cut out as I was talking about it, and I got to give props, obviously, to was it Jaden Davis of the 400 runner. I mean, just again, but he finished 6th in the 400 championships. And I mean, again, just but yeah, I mean, he had a hell of a season, the sophomore, again, a local kid out of Arizona. Well, I'll get more into that. Also, with the track racking up, but I mean, the season that, baseball, softball, we'll get into that too. Now as we spring, spring semester, I know, no pun intended, but spring into obviously into the summer workouts, football, volleyball, women's soccer, coming right back around the corner, and they will be up here. So that will be here soon after we go through another wonderful, hot, scorching summer. But nonetheless, I'm going to step aside real quick. You guys gather that in. But yeah, we'll hit, like I said, baseball, softball, track. Again, go back through the fall, the winter. Obviously, spring sports doing awesome there as well too. So again, just how the fall set the tempo. Talk about that track, all that phenomenal stuff. So we'll step aside real quick here, but don't go too far. Again, more coming up here on Pitchfork Lunch.
Audio Jungle. KSRN has the inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those listening on the Casual Sports Radio Network, you are listening to the greatest internet radio station on the web. So happy to be part of bringing, again, Sun Devil Nation all around the world, possibility of it, which, again, as you know, we should be. I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter, as you know. You can check out the show, Visual Work Lunch Live, there every day, Monday, Friday, 12 to 1, along with my IG at michael.caratino.5. YouTube, which you know you need to watch live and subscribe to. It's at Evans and Michael V as in Victory Season Champ 005. On YouTube, subscribe to that. And yes, the Casual Sports Radio Network, www.ksrnaz.com. So, yeah, before the break, again, wrapping up track and field. Like I told you guys, Jaden Davis, man, young man, finished sixth in the 400 at the championships. Jaden Davis, again, a 45.91 was his time. Only one runner, and that was Samuel Ogazi. Who was from Alabama, a sophomore. He was under 45, 44.84 in the 400. Yes. And he took first. William Jones of USC, the junior, took second at 45.53. Again, Ogazi's a sophomore. Jones, like I said, a junior. And then Jordan Pierre from Arkansas Pine Bluff, who's also a sophomore. He finished third at 45.75. Fellow Big 12 foe, I guess you could say, of ASU. No, but a fellow Big 12 runner from Texas Tech, Deshaun Boyce, finished fourth at a 45.78. And then the freshman from Duke, Joseph Taylor, the only freshman, like I said, to make it this far into the finals, 45.83, finished fifth. Jaden Davis, again, the sophomore from the Devils, forks up, sixth at 45.91. And then you had Ahmad Robinson from Texas A&M at 46.07, Gabriel Clement II of UCLA at 46.17, and unfortunately the senior Gabriel Moronta was DQ'd from South Florida. But yes, that was that. But yeah, I mean, Jaden Davis was out in lane 9 and again finished 6th. And like I said, the staggers can get to you because you're in lane 9, you're figuring, okay. But as again, as you adjust the stagger, those that have run track, but still phenomenal season by Davis, a sophomore. And 45-91 for him as well. And then when we look at Saturday, as in the discus, as you know, gave her a huge, she gets a huge shout out as well. We had a Sun Devil finish 10th. So top 10 in the country in disc, and Inez Lopez, guys, I mentioned, had a hell of a throw, 188 feet, 2 inches, which is, they do measure in meters, as you know, track wise, even though it's here, but going with obviously the Olympic way of doing it, measuring in meters, and the conversion. Yes, I get it. So yeah, but she went 57.36 meters, again, 188 feet, 2 inches, finished 10th. Again, not too far from 9th, as less than 2 feet. Estelle Villanu of Virginia went 58.22 meters, which is 191 feet even. So, but yeah, and you talk about big time throwers. There was 4 that went over 200 feet, and Sierra Jackson of Fresno State, again, tip of the cap to Sierra Jackson. She threw at 65.82 meters, my friends, which, like I told you the other day, 215 feet, 11 inches. Then you had Alita Van Dalen of Florida, who went 64.94 meters, and that's 213 feet, 1 inch. Shelby Frank of Texas Tech, who had gone over 200 during the season too, because I mentioned that before the championships got started. Shelby Frank went 63.37 meters, which is 207 feet, 11 inches. And then Kaisa Marie Linfors of Cal, she went 62.57 meters, which is 205 feet, 3 inches, guys. That is just bombing the discus, obviously. And then just like an eyelash under 200 was Amanda Ngandu Ntumba from Cincinnati, Big 12 mate, that went 60.77 meters, which is 199 feet, 4 inches. So, but yeah, Inez Lopez finished 10th in that, the junior. So stoked seeing what she can do next year, obviously with Sun Devil track. And yeah, that's just, again, phenomenal. That is just bombing it out there. So a heck of a like I said, heck of a day. And then for Jaden Davis as well, getting to the championships, the 4x4 team that missed by just 0.2 of a second, 0.2 of a second. Going to the finals, and Jaden Davis, obviously a huge part of that 4x4 team. But yeah, 45-91 to end the season. And man, just like nothing but onward and upward, like I said, for this young man, as again, he goes forward in the track season, or in track, obviously, at ASU. So very very stoked about that. Also, my friends, don't forget about obviously baseball, the College World Series. Again, we had Oregon State, Coastal Carolina, the team down south, and Louisville, along with Arkansas, LSU, UCLA, and Murray State. And when we look at bracket 1, so Coastal Carolina beat in the first game, they beat Arizona. I didn't go through all this the other day, but have a second to. So beat Arizona 7-4 in that first game. And then Oregon State beat Louisville in the first game. So Arizona and Louisville went to the elimination bracket. Louisville won that game 8-3 and sent Arizona home. And then the two winners, Coastal Carolina beat Oregon State 6-2. And then, so that sent, again, being double elimination, that sent Oregon State down to play Louisville, and Louisville gets the 7-6 victory over Oregon State. So that's in bracket 1. So right now, in the top of the fourth going on, Coastal Carolina is up 6-0. And again, they are the visiting team in this, but they are up 6-0 over Louisville in, like I said, the top of the fourth. In bracket 2, where we had UCLA, Murray State, Arkansas, and LSU, UCLA beat Murray State in the first game 6-4 to keep them up in the winners bracket. And then LSU beat Arkansas 4-1. So then Murray State took on Arkansas, and Arkansas in the elimination bracket shut Murray State out 3-0. Again, hell of a run by Murray State. But they shut them out 3-0 to eliminate them. And then LSU beat UCLA 9-5. So that sent UCLA to play Arkansas. And Arkansas did beat the Bruins 7-3 to eliminate UCLA. And now LSU and Arkansas will play tonight. Yes, they shall play tonight at 4 o'clock, or today, I should say, at 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern time. And that'll be on ESPN as well. If LSU wins, then they are the bracket 2 champs. And they will take on, obviously, the winner of Coastal Carolina and Louisville. If Coastal Carolina, by the way, I should have mentioned that too. Apologies. If Coastal Carolina wins this game, they advance to the final. And again, like I said, so if they win and LSU wins tonight, we have it set up. If Louisville comes back and wins and Arkansas wins this game, then both teams will be playing tomorrow to see which two will represent in the World Series. In the College World Series, obviously in the championship. So yes, that is where baseball is at. Again, our Devils, hell of a season, phenomenal season. Guys playing, ready going to places to play this summer. Guys coming back. And I do need to mention to you, yes, obviously, because I did mention that the other day. I just want to make sure that you know that, yes, that baseball-wise, they scored quite a few in the transfer portal already. Again, scholarships going up to, 34? So everybody will be able to have a scholarship. That, my friends, is phenomenal because obviously the House settlement coming down and, with the revenue sharing and what past athletes from a certain point are owed. So yeah, they did. Coach Bloomquist, again, staff done a hell of a job. In recruiting and in the transfer portal, as I should say, because they have done it. And again, very, very stoked for them on that. And like I told you, it's just, you got to hit it. You got to hit in the portal. But yes, these are the guys that Coach Bloomquist, again, so far. And there were quite a few guys that were at the MLB Draft Combine over at Chase Field. I'll get to that in a second because Brandon Compton, by the way, again, I know it was after I thought I did the last show, but Brandon Compton, again, this young man, just so fun to be around. and again, just out at the combine. But yeah, I'll get to that too. A little added bonus for today. But yeah, the guys that they have signed. Oh, I got another. Well, they landed another one, which again I saw yesterday, and I was stoked. And yes, he is coming from back east, but they just landed Garrett Mitchell, an infielder who was at Virginia Tech. So he is one of the newest to sign the transfers. But also, I'll review for you guys because again, didn't go back and I mean, I saw that it like cut out, but I didn't see like which of which. But we want to get this in there because forks up to Coach Bloomquist, like I said, and the staff, and again, just how exciting they were and the growth. And yes, Jacob Tobias will be gone. That is a bummer, but I mean, for Sun Devils, but obviously good for him because looking for awesome things from Jacob Tobias as he goes forward. Also, so yeah, they signed Austin Rolling, who was at Utah, Pac-12 and Big 12 foe. Austin Rolling, an infielder from Utah. George Bilecki, who is an outfielder from Lewis College. They got him through the portal. Also, Dean Toigo of UNLV, who, again, they have played the last few seasons, as you guys, as you Sun Devil fans, obviously know my Pitchfork Luncher. So Dean Toigo, who was Mountain West Co-Player of the Year, All Mountain West First Team, an ABCA All-Region First Team, and now, yes, a Sun Devil to add to, again, a very amazing outfield. And a California native that was across the country playing and is now headed back to Tempe, Matthew Polk, who was at Vanderbilt, guys. And again, Vanderbilt, yes, you could say got upset in the in regionals, and they were the number one team and went home. But Polk, another outfielder, coming here to Tempe, absolutely huge. And then Dominic Longo, infielder from Utah Valley, is coming here as well. So the transfer portal, again, crushing it. The latest edition, which, again, happened yesterday. So I'm glad I saw this and can bring it to you. But Garrett Mitchell is headed to Tempe. So that, again, my friends, is awesome as we as Coach Bloomquist again finds, you know, players that work for the program and that understand, you know, yes, you're going to work, but it's going to be fun. So yeah, I mean, just crushing it. And again, having that full allotment of scholarships and guys that are, you know, coming back. We'll see. I mean, Isaiah Jackson, but these guys are out at the combine. So in the Major League Draft, yeah, it went down a few rounds, but look, selfishly, of course, I want to see him in Sun Devil uniforms next year. But, you know, if they're going to go, they have that chance. And again, it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, just again, absolutely awesome. And then, like I said, Brandon Compton. Yeah, I mean, Brandon Compton had a heck of a day yesterday. the hardest hit track balls of the draft combine in the tracking era. Brandon Compton yesterday, 116.9 miles per hour, 116.6 miles per hour, and 116.4 miles per hour. You can go on the good old X and see it. When I saw it last night, I just started going through and I was like, hot damn. But so stoked again for Brandon Compton. Again, young man that, battled injury in high school and had to sit his, they redshirted him, but his freshman year sat, and we see what, he's done at the plate and his approach and what he can do in the field. And I mean, he said last year, you guys, when we had it, when we sat down with him and Nick McLean, phenomenally. You can go again back on YouTube and check out that interview with Brandon Compton and Nick McLean, who was just absolutely epic. Big shout out to Baseball SID, Jeremy, for saying, I mean, you can do it one-on-one, but you do them both together. And I'm like, you're trying to get rid of me. But inevitably, he was 150,000,000% right, sitting down with those two together. But yeah, I mean, just, and like I said, Brandon Compton, he still has a little zing in the arm. So phenomenal high school pitcher. And I mean, he could hit, he could play, but then, was injured and then sat. But yeah, this young man, it was just, it is just awesome. The Hulk smash, like I said, Brandon Compton, absolute Hulk smash. And again, he can do that. So very, very stoked to see that. Him out there, coming along with Isaiah Jackson, and I know Kyle Walker was out there. So yeah, I mean, quite a few Sun Devils. Anyway, to say the least. So that was awesome to see. But yeah, just again, so stoked. And they again, baseball wise this year, again, very exciting. Yeah, it ended tough. I mean, as we know, it ended pretty tough with the getting swept by Oklahoma State on the road. And then, you go into the Big 12 tournament and you drop that, again, tough first game against BYU, but you get into regionals, you win your first game, and then drop the next two again. It was a tough regional, LA, a lot of talent in that region, as we have seen. So, yes, that being said, but yeah, still a phenomenal season and a team battle. It had the grit. And Coach Moon was talking about it. Could have put his head in the sand and went through the motions after that tough stretch, in Cincinnati, and then losing an extra inning game to Purdue on Monday. But then they came back and just rattled off wins and battled. And I mean, averaging 9.5 runs a game, and just what the pitching, was able to do as well. Like, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So again, phenomenal baseball season, and guys reaping the benefits of that and their work. So we love that. Same thing with softball. Coach Bartlett got him back in regionals. We've had her on the show, and I mean, they're just the coaching, and Kenzie Brown, the strikeout queen, like I said, will be back next year. And those freshmen now that have that first year under their belts, getting to regionals, it's again, very exciting in softball as well. And players that they brought in, players that they can bring in. So it's exciting times around there. So yeah, and then obviously, water polo. We're going to set aside one more reset, and when I get back, though, we are going to. I'm going to talk about the 2 hashtag campaigns that I hope you Pitchfork Lunchers will help me go on. You need to help me go on at Pitchfork Lunchers. Share it with your friends, because they're 2 very awesome campaigns. Again. And you'll see why. But yes, we have that. And then just, wrap up from fall to spring, just the excitement that this season was. So yes, we shall step aside and yes, wrap up season 2 for the second time. See, 2s are wild here on Pitchfork Lunch.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority. Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use it.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird gang. I know it's another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending the message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network. KSRN has an inside track on all things.
You are listening to the best internet radio station on the web, KSRN, Arizona.
Yes, for those listening on the Casual Sports Radio Network, it is the greatest internet radio station on the web. I am Michael Carasanudo at Diablo001X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Your, again, humble host of Pitchfork Lunch. So, and again, you can see the show live on the good old IG as well, Michael at Carasanudo.5, YouTube, at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005, and the Casual Sports Radio Network, www.ksrnaz.com. Yes, so in wrapping up, again, I forgot the other day, and again, maybe that was just a sign with the choppiness, but this has been smooth. I've been double checking it on things, so very, very smooth. But yes, we have two movements. You guys all know a friend of the program. He's been on a few times. Sun Devil, awesome defensive tackle, the Tempe Texan from Texas Tempe, CJ Fight. We've talked to him, obviously, about his phenomenal dog, Tank. And as I get to talk to him about to him more about that, it's one of those awesome things where, again, and it's his dog and his dad, again, we've had Mr. Fight on, again, the man who, look, I give him credit. I'm not saying he was the first, but definitely started this, Tempe to Texas, or Texas to Tempe. And he has been all of that. Always so gracious to catch up with. Love my conversations with Mr. Fight. Again, so very awesome. But yes, we give. I've taken up for CJ, and we've talked about this. But getting Tank to Tempe, and always saying it's too hot. Yes, we know it's not cold. We're not asking him to bring him outside here now. So it is Tank to Tempe movement. But my friends, we are doing this. CJ and I. It is Tank to Camp T. Because it is nice and cool up there. Obviously, fall camp. Yes, so you see it across the bottom, my pitchfork lunchers. And look, CJ Fight, his dog is awesome. I showed that video from this season. His dad had sent, put it up, but sent it to me where, and his dad, a Texas State alum, Mr. Fight, a Texas State alum, and he had the two hats. He had the Texas State hat and he had the ASU hat. And he's like, Tank, who's going to win? And Tank's sitting there, and you see Tank again, looks awesome. you see Tank sitting there, and he goes back and forth, and he's like, all right, who is it, Tank? And Tank just puts his paw, and you saw it, on the Sun Devil hat. Phenomenal game. The Devils come back. They were down, come back in that game, a theme from a little bit of last season, Big 12 championship season. So yes, Tank to Camp T is also hashtag Tank to Camp T. So yes, we need to get him up there. You can share this again. I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna get it out there. But yeah, CJ and I have been kidding around about this for a long time. His dad was like, it's hot. And of course, we don't want Tank to be uncomfortable or hot, right? We're not saying leave him out in the sun, but up to Camp T, we got to get Mr. Fight out there. We have a sit down with CJ, Tank, and along with Mr. Fight as well, who's been on the show again. So Tank to Tempe is going to be Tank to Camp T as well. So Pitchfork Lunchers, man, spread this. Help me out with this. But yes, we do need to get CJ's awesome dog. I told him I would take up the reins for him on this and get Tank out here, because again, he's gotten to go home and see him, and he's like, and it's my dog too. So absolutely awesome. But yes, Tank to Camp T is our next battle. So yes, we definitely. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, we definitely want that. But yes. And the other one that I'm also starting, and I've mentioned this to you guys before. I know I've mentioned this to you guys before. But an uber talented person, obviously, actor, but I mean, comedian, actor, does a ton of who does, I mean, a ton of voices, and you've seen his shows, movies that he's done also as well. Has done a lot of we need to get him on here to, again, I appreciate the comment. Of course, I laughed, but yes, if any of you have seen the Ted movies, Ted, well, and specifically Ted 2, which had a bunch of awesome shout outs in it, but we need to get Seth MacFarlane on Pitchfork Lunch. So that is this summer. I want to start this. Plus, he also creative mind. A lot of you that a little bit older like comedy movies, but the Naked Gun franchise, which was, again, just absolutely hilarious back in the day. Leslie Nielsen, Priscilla Presley, like, again, just hilarious, right? Hilarious. If you saw him. So Liam Neeson is rebooting with Liam Neeson, but Seth MacFarlane, who had Liam Neeson come on, and again, you see many interviews with that, but Liam Neeson is the head detective. And I don't know, if you haven't seen the previews, I don't want to spoil it, but my point is, in Ted 2, if you saw it, there is a total just picking on Arizona State. And I was trying to dig around and see, and I've been doing this for a while, and I've mentioned it, but hashtag Seth MacFarlane on Pitchfork Lunch. We need to be creative and funny, and not just creative and funny, but I want to get him on here to talk about just the hammering of Arizona State. I mean, look, you guys all see off the top, obviously Jerry Maguire, huge in Arizona State. There was another one too. have to look it up, but yes, but I mean, the comedy of it makes you want to laugh, and how him and Mark Wahlberg go back and forth, to Amanda Seyfried in Ted 2 about this. So yes, hashtag Seth MacFarlane on Pitchfork Lunch, because I want to talk again, love his work. Obviously, come on, you think of Family Guy. I mean, come on, like obviously Ted, Ted 2, and I mean he did A Million Ways to Die in the West. Sing. I mean, again, Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, again, just such an insanely awesome talent. But come on, man, why are we hammering? Look, Pitchfork Lunchers, I will leave it on this lastly. You can there's another school here you could have ripped on, but I guess not having them mentioned is even better. But nonetheless, so look, we have it right there. Hashtag Seth MacFarlane on Pitchfork Lunch. We need him here to see how Arizona State won the lottery in Ted 2 with getting picked on. And have him on there again. I just love to pick his brain about that because we get to that. And it's just, I mean, look, there could be quite a few reasons, but I mean, that's that. So hashtag Seth MacFarlane on Pitchfork Lunch. We're working on it this off season. And also, my friends, hashtag Tank to Tempe, but we need to just abbreviate a little bit. Hashtag Tank to Camp T. So Mr. Fight sees that and we can, make this happen and get the famous and awesome Tank on an interview here on Pitchfork Lunch with CJ and Mr. Fight. Hopefully, if they're out there, we can make this happen. So, nonetheless, those are the hashtags, and we need to work on those this summer. But yes, like I said the other day, I want to thank all coaches and players that have been on the show, guests, insiders, voices. Everybody that's been on the show this season, athletic director. I want to thank Graham Rossini again, having him on twice amongst his just insane schedule and events. He obviously is not, events he's at, covering all the obviously other stuff behind the scenes. It's just phenomenal. So again, thank you to Forks Up to athletic director Graham Rossini for jumping in here on Pitchfork Lunch. Again, football coaches that I had on. Obviously, we sat down with Coach Dillingham last Friday. That's his second appearance here on Pitchfork Lunch. But Coach Dillingham, Coach Regal, Coach Brian Ward, Coach Arroyo, Coach Tui Tele, Coach Carrington, Coach Mons, Coach Aguano, Coach Reynolds, defensive line coach. Again, I need to get Hines Ford. We're working on that too for the fall. But again, so those coaches there that have come on and again, more than once, given their time, absolutely stoked for that. And then, players, obviously football wise, but that have given the time, come on the show, had some fun with, and also volleyball. I mean, Coach Van Neal was the very first coach to ever come on Pitchfork Lunch my peeps. So that'll be a quiz for you. Just when we start next season on the quiz. But yes, he was the very first coach, Sun Devil coach, to come on the airways of Pitchfork Lunch. So Coach Van Neal, again, last season, I should say, he was the very first coach when we started the program. But yes, absolutely awesome. Coach Van Neal, players we've had from volleyball, and even this year, Jillian Neal, got to catch up with her. And again, getting adapted to this Big 12, especially in conference play, traveling schedule and practice schedule. But we will bring you, I will aim to bring you more, obviously, reigning Big 12 champ volleyball players next season. Also, Roberta Habella, who's on many a times. Awesome. So, yes, with us. And absolutely awesome. So very, very, very stoked, for reigning Big 12 champs women's volleyball. But yeah, and again, that we've had, with them, and then even, again, the coaches. So yeah, I mean, football, Coach Van Neal in volleyball, obviously Coach Party in water polo. Women's water polo has been a great friend of the program. Always awesome to catch up with her and just be out there. And it's such a phenomenal sport anyway. But Coach Party, Coach Herbie Bain, swimming, men's and women's Big 12 champs this year, swim and dive. And Coach Bain came on again. So awesome to catch up with him, finally catch up with him. And yeah, I mean, just such a great season that they've had. Obviously, we have Coach Bartlett, Coach Bloomquist. We've had them on. We had Coach Hurley on before men's hoop season started. Coach Winkworth for women's soccer, always been gracious. Love, obviously his time and getting to catch up with him. Again, now we just need to catch up with more players, but we're working on it. We are definitely working on that. So, but yeah, Coach Winkworth, they're obviously in the fall as well. And then, Coach Adair, Natasha Adair, I mean, she was on the show, obviously let go. We had but she came on the show a few times and had women's hoops players come on. It was absolutely awesome. Yeah, and then Molly Miller, I mean, new women's head coach. We got to sit down with her. Again, you can go check that out on YouTube. But again, to like Doug Tamaro and Connor Smith, Doug, Connor, Jeremy, Kimber, Zach, Alyssa, Claudia, Griffin, all the phenomenal SIDs that have helped. And again, with, scheduling and lining stuff up and getting interviews. Again, Missy Farquet, women's golf coach, again, phenomenal to get to catch up with her twice this past season. Coach Thurman, the men's golf coach as well, like just phenomenal. So again, thank you to all the SIDs. Thank you again to the awesome fans of the show. Again, you know how to hit me up at Diablo00 on X, Michael Dykers 5 on IG. Again, find me, hit me up. But this is signing off. There is going to be no third final show of season 2. Signing off for season 2. Again, thank you so much to everybody. Like I said, it has been awesome. I look forward to season 3. Don't forget, hashtag Tank to Camp T and hashtag Seth MacFarlane on Pitchfork Launch. We will work on that this offseason, see if we can it might take a second to make it happen. Hopefully not the tank part, but second to make it happen. But again, I appreciate your guys' support. Again, you know how to get a hold of me. Hit me up, comments, anything like that. But have a phenomenal rest of your Mike. What day is it? Hump day. Woo, woo. Yep, and that's for my mom. Mama's favorite commercial. You guys know that on Wednesdays because it has my name in it. Still makes her laugh till this day. So anyway, have a phenomenal rest of your Wednesday. I will see you next season. And yes, thanks to reigning Big 12 champions, women's volleyball. It is hashtag our state. That's right. For that school down south, it will always be hashtag our state because we're Sun Devils. And you guys know it. Have a phenomenal rest of your Wednesday and summer. Trying to at least keep somewhat cool out there. And as always, you know it. Forks out.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call. Blake Baker, Bubba will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Great flag.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. But a down for it. They won't get it. Wow.
Edwards pulls off and buries the flag.
Richardson tries, not for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for good.